So he was supposed to be a first round pick. You know, coming out of the Senior Bowl, the talk was Bo Nix was now working his way into the first round and things of that nature, right? Okay, so if you were to rank your quarterbacks right now, how are you ranking your quarterbacks just based on your evaluation of these guys so far?
Oh man, I'm not ready to do that yet. I'm not ready to do that. I'm not gonna rank them yet. I'm not ready to do that. I'm still, because I'm watching Drake May a little bit still. But
okay,
from guys that finished like Nix,
mm-hmm.
Nix is disappointing because his arm looked bigger on film than it did in person. So when I watched it live, it didn't look live at all. So
okay.
I think he's more of a West Coast like short passing system guy.
Mm.
I don't know if that's what the Raiders want to do. He's not going to be able to stretch the field vertically, and he's got a little bit of check down Charlie in him.
I thought about this. I've been telling people that. Everybody hates when I say that. I've been telling people that he checks down too much.
Yeah, it's a little bit there. I mean, he didn't throw deep at the Senior Bowl. I mean, we're in practice, guys. I mean, well, why are you checking down? But anyway, that's a different story. Different story. But with Bo, he's still getting first round buzz. I still see him in mock drafts in there. I think because more, what he brings in, his leadership and stuff like that. And Sean Payton might draft him or something like that.
I see that.
If I was the Raiders, I wouldn't do it. If you want to ask my perspective, but the Raiders, I don't know if they might like him. They might, buy into that, but I'm not sure because it's just he can't push the ball down the field. Like
that's
his best on Thursday, his best day was the red zone. I mean, yeah, he looked really good in the red zone series, but the other 2 days, I mean, he's throwing some ducks out there. So, I wouldn't push the Raiders. If I was advising the Raiders, I wouldn't push them to take him at 13 because he's just not dynamic enough to. I mean, you'd really have to game manage with him, in my opinion. I think he's a little bit more of a game manager that might try to make some gutsy plays every once in a while, but yeah, it's not going to be something where you're constantly pushing the ball down the field.
See me, I don't go as deep as my analysis as you do for sure, but I do a little research. Just me, I think he's a second round pick. There's nothing you can tell me that makes me say that the Raiders should take him at 13 at all. Like at all, bro. Like him, JJ McCarthy, even Michael Penix. I wouldn't take him at 13 either. But you saw him in person. Okay, so now we just talked about Bo Nix. What about Michael Penix in person? How did that look to you?
I think Penix looks the same in person as he did in film. Big arm. I mean, his arm is huge. Huge arm. Definitely live arm. A lot of those things that you saw in film, I mean, you saw at the Senior Bowl. But, a lot of things that you saw in film, you saw the Senior Bowl too, which is, just consistent accuracy with him and mechanics and how he handles pressure. Is those things were coming out a little bit at practice. So it's like he wasn't. I mean, that group was supposed to be the best quarterbacks there, and they weren't. So that's kind of how I looked at it. I mean, Gus Bradley. I mean, Raiders fans, we know Gus Bradley. His son. I mean, if I had to rank quarterbacks, I could rank the Senior Bowl.
What?
Senior Bowl. Yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead, rank your Senior Bowl quarterbacks. I need to hear that.
It would probably be Rattler, then Carter Bradley, and then probably Penix, I guess.
And you got to say you guess, so that's not all the great good right there either.
Yeah. It would probably be. I mean, Rattler had a great week.
That's somebody I want to dive into.
The interesting was Carter Bradley, which is Gus Bradley's son. I thought that was hilarious how good he looked. But I mean, it was kind of funny. I mean, he just
where he come from? What school he in?
South Alabama. So I mean, the Senior Bowl's at South Alabama. So he's like a late invite. They like give you guy like, okay, let's give you South Alabama guy. But he was the only one with balls, I guess, out there. Like,
I
mean, those dudes were like checking down, and he was throwing it into traffic and making some.
He got shit to lose at this point. Might as well at this point. I feel it. But see, somebody that surprised me, right? And I wasn't expecting much, but Spencer Rattler surprised me. He did, because I'm watching it on the TV. I'm not there, but I'm watching. I'm like, damn, he having a little better week than I expected him to have. Like, so in person, like, is that how it looked as well? Like how it looked through the TV? Like Spencer Rattler actually performing.
Yeah. I mean, I thought he had a good week, man. He has a live arm. I mean, his arm is strong. And that's why he was the number one quarterback coming out when he was a recruit. And that's why he went to Oklahoma. I mean, you saw those things, you saw those elements. I mean, what really happened though was for Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler, he had Xavier Leggett out there who he plays with.
He had his guy, yeah. He had his guy.
And the second and third day, he just started throwing to him, which is smart. I'm not saying that it's bad, but he looked really good throwing to Xavier Leggett because he knew he was going to get his breaks. Yeah. He knew all those things. But it was smart as hell. But I mean, he was probably the best quarterback out there. And that kind of that's why, you know, with Nix and Penix, you know, I wouldn't even think about them at 13 because of that, right? I mean, they should have been the best quarterbacks out there.
There you go. Exactly.
When Justin Herbert was out there with Jordan Love, I mean, Justin Herbert was the best quarterback out there, right? Okay. I get Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield. When those guys are Senior Bowl, they're the best quarterbacks out there. I could go on. I could go Dak Prescott, right? Dak Prescott.
Okay.
He looked like he belonged in the NFL. Those type of guys, you know, the Senior Bowl, you should look a first round pick should look like a first round pick. Like I should be like,
I agree.
That's a talent, right?
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Because there were some dudes in other positions where I looked at, I was like, oh yeah, that dude's going in the first round, bro, probably. You know, like that center from Oregon. I don't give a damn, bro. I'm in love with that center from Oregon. That Powers Johnson, I would take him on the Raiders in a heartbeat. So we over here talking about the quarterbacks, but you know, there's other positions, right? So anybody else from the Senior Bowl that really, like, you know, opened your eyes? I know, especially in the trenches, because that's where most people want to see us go if it's not a quarterback in the draft, trenches. So did anybody open your eyes there?
I'll start on defense. A couple guys. Tyler Davis from Clemson. I thought he had a great week on defensive line. The biggest needs of Raiders are offensive line, defensive line, quarterback, right? So we'll talk about that cornerback, kind of. But I mean, if they do, they go there. But defensive line, Tyler Davis.
Okay.
Inside player. He's number 13 on Clemson. Was wearing 91 that week. Definitely had he had a good second and third day. I think the first day he was a little iffy, but he got better as the week went along. Some of those guys got better when they put the pads on too, which is interesting.
You always got to wait for the pads a little bit.
Yeah. So another guy was Darius Robinson, who is a beast, man. Yeah, I was watching.
Is that the Missouri guy?
Yeah, I was watching some Jarvis Daniels today, and he was just all over that film. So, when Jarvis Daniels played in Missouri, so Darius Robinson is a stud. He's about 286 pounds, so he's a little bit of a tweener. But I think if you put him in the NFL, that's an easy 15 pounds in 2 years, man. You can put. Put 10 pounds on him, and he could be 295 playing inside. He's a big, moving dude. Dominated all week, man. He dominated out there. Just some other guys that caught my eye. Guy caught my eyes, nose guard, named McKinley Jackson. Jackson. Okay. He's 335 pounds, but he doesn't look it. He's very top heavy. He's got his legs on build, but he shows some great pass rush moves inside. So that was a sleeper guy that I liked out there. I think he's from Ole Miss. I believe. I could be wrong on that, but he's definitely a player that I liked. From the offensive line side, of course, Fuaga is Salisu Fuaga's a big.
Yeah, you put me on him. Yep.
Yeah, Jackson Powers, of course, you talked about. I thought Pooney from Kansas is interesting. He's definitely he played left tackle, guard, and center last week, and he definitely Russian. So, and he did well on all of those. So, I think Tuesday he played left tackle, Wednesday he played center, and then Thursday he played guard. So
that's great versatility right there. Hell yeah.
So, and he is a damn good pass protector. Really no technique yet, but he's so athletic it doesn't matter at this point. But he's got to learn that technique. But yeah, those are some guys that really caught my eye. Outside of that, for the cornerback position, a couple guys though did catch my eye. Cornerback Jarvis Brownlee.
Brownlee, heard about him a lot.
Yeah, he was running routes with the receiver. So one-on-ones. I mean, the corners really don't know what the route's going to be. Right. He was running the routes for the guys. It was pretty crazy to watch. And then he had a pick in team session, and then he had a pick in the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's translating.
So he had a jam. And then another guy that is arising is Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo.
I saw him. Yeah, now he was flashing for sure.
Yeah. Quinyon Mitchell is definitely a player that's out there. That's just some interesting corners that the Raiders could pick up if they want to go that route in the draft too as well.
Yeah, I saw, corners probably low on the list. I think for me, I'd be like, hey, low on the list. What are they going to do with Ja'Cory and Bennett would be a question for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, have we fully given up on that scenario over there,
Yeah.
or what's the deal? So that would be my question. A guy that I wanted to know a little bit more that I'm interested in, T'Vondre Sweat, right? Like, that's a guy that I've been looking at. How did he look throughout that week?
He didn't weigh in. That says you a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess he didn't want us to know how big he is, first of all.
Yeah. And him not weighing in, that kind of had me. That's alarms for me. I was like, yeah, you ain't trying to do that now.
He ain't ready yet. He ain't ready.
Yeah, you better shave some off before the combine or whatever you got to do. I know what that means.
In one-on-ones and stuff, he looked pretty good, man.
Okay.
I mean, me and Matt were laughing at him because he was just how he was running in like warm-ups. It was just he's a big man, man. He likes to eat. I'm sure he was enjoying some barbecue. Down in Alabama. I'm sure he went to Moe's.
That's a big boy.
Yeah. Got some chicken wings from Voodoo. That's some good food out there. So, yeah, he had he looked good in one-on-ones though. I thought he looked like he belonged. But that's a weight thing, man. He didn't weigh in. I think that's the red flag.
Scares you. It would scare me for sure, but I like when he gets his damn hands on people, man, he moves them back with ease, man.
Yeah,
and I know the Raiders might lose John Jenkins this year, just maybe because of age and contract, whatever the case. But if they do, lose John Jenkins, I think that'd be a guy interesting. You may be able to bring him in, something like that.
Yeah. It's just the thing with Swift. I mean, this is one of your biggest jobs, interview of your life, and you can't weigh in. I guess it's kind of how you could be like,
yeah. Now I want to get this take from you, right? Because this is completely my opinion, right? So when I got the news that Michael Penix wasn't playing in the Senior Bowl, now obviously I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, he's a 4th round pick now. But me personally, I didn't like that. I like as soon as I got the news that he wasn't playing, I'm like, bro, you was there all week. Like what happened from last night to right now? And now Bo Nix is playing and all that. So like when you got that news, did that impact anything from you, or were you just like, I understand why he's not playing or something like that? Because me, I didn't think he was having a good enough week to sit his ass out. That's just me.
Well, see, he won national player quarterback on that side, so maybe he was hearing, and his agents were hearing that he didn't have to play. So that's the thing with that type of dynamic, because technically, if you had a good week, and I know I heard like some people said that he did impress. I know his agents are saying that. I don't know. Jordan Schultz. Jordan Schultz is like
I don't know.
He's like the ultimate agent guy. He's like, agents tell him what to say. So Michael Penix supposedly had a good week. I just don't see how an NFL scout would be like, he just too many short throws. If you're missing too many short throws for me, that's fine. But he obviously was hearing something that he felt like he didn't have to play. Because I mean that's really the only reason you would play in that game is if you feel like that you don't have to play. Like, because I mean, some of the guys went home. I mean, like
Jackson Powers. I know he went home. But he got hurt. Watching him,
he got hurt though.
Did he? I didn't know he got hurt. I didn't know. Okay,
he got hurt. But that happens. Like I remember, like Javon Kinlaw out there, man. He was one of the biggest humans I've ever seen in my life. First of all,
really? Okay.
He was like out there for like a day. You know what I mean? Like they go to the Senior Bowl, pick, boom, boom, boom. I'm 1st round pick. Leave me alone, and they go home. You know what I mean? So obviously he was hearing something. I don't know if he was hearing the right things, but he heard something from his agent that he didn't have to play. I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. I wouldn't read too much into it because Senior Bowl game's a little funky, and it's still the Senior Bowl practice is the part, and then the Senior Bowl is basically the Pro Bowl. It's basically it's college football Pro Bowl.
I get that.
You know what I mean? Like it's not really. I mean, yeah, you want the guy to play well, but I mean,
if you really evaluate throughout the week for real, instead of doing that game. I get what you're saying. I mean, just me though, it's like you was there all week. You know what I mean? You was already practicing, and just like you said. I mean, even watching it on TV, you're not having a good enough week to sit out. To me, I mean. And I want to bring it back to the point you said earlier, right? Like it's early, okay? I remember watching after this was before the red zone period. Okay, I was watching this Senior Bowl. All of a sudden, I see tweets. Oh yeah, Bo Nix is working himself into the first round. He's the best quarterback here. I'm like, what the hell are they watching? Like, who's tweeting this? It makes no sense to me.
I don't know. Bo Nix still keeps getting mocked in the first round, man.
I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I mean, well, obviously, because I mean, there's probably something. I mean, he's married, and you know, he's got his head on straight. He came from Auburn,
Probably,
right? And then he became a better quarterback, right? And you know, the thing is, some quarterback coaches they like that little quick passing check down guy. They like it. That's the thing. Is that if you have a coach like that, which I would say Sean Payton, that's what I said, Jimmy Garoppolo, we got your groomer too. You can groom a check down guy. We got Jimmy Garoppolo for you, Sean. Whenever you want him, you can come get him. That's your fact. I mean,
that's a fact. That is a fact.
Benjamin Albright, he's a Broncos guy. He keeps talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm just saying we can mix that in there. Get him Jimmy Garoppolo. Then he can mentor Bo Nix, because you know Jimmy Garoppolo just loves playing football. He just loves being on the team. He's a guy. He's a team's guy.